Alright, welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to the show. Guys, you know I'm looking out for you. I got your back when it comes to dating and people's bullshit advice when it comes to dating. Now, when I say that, that sounds like a heavy one, right? Look, there's a lady here who's going on about a dating article. 10 ways to be more confident on dating apps, and this lady has never been on a dating app. Yeah, that's right. That's right. And what I'm afraid, guys, is you guys are listening to this shit, right? And in fairness, there's a lot of people out there. You do want to have an advantage, or you want to help yourselves out on dating. Of course you do. You want to meet somebody nice, or just you want to hook up, whatever it is, right? So I really do understand why people read these articles. But the problem is, we're dealing with somebody who's never been on a fucking dating app. I mean, guys, this is insane. And what I'm here today, I'm like Batman here, guys, right? I'm overlooking on the rooftops. I'm fucking out at night, keeping an eye on shit, making sure there's no bad villains out there trying to fucking get you. Because these guys, I mean, these people are just literally reading stuff out for nothing. Like, there's some of this article I'm going to call out now. We're going to get to it now in a few minutes. But why I'm doing this podcast, guys, is I'm concerned that people are having a very hard time on dating apps right now, which, by the way, as most of you know, if you've heard me on social media, you fucking know the deal here, right? It's hard life for singles right now. And hey, Jesus, it's a hard life for relationships right now. A lot of people struggling. But let's just keep with the singles for today. So it's hard enough. But then you got somebody who's writing for an established newspaper, and people are writing in, they're reading the articles. And when I say they're writing in, they're asking questions about this and that, and yet they're speaking and listening to somebody who's never been on a dating fucking app. The woman is married as well, which makes this, I mean, how the hell can you relate to us singles? And guys, most of you know I'm single. So what I want to make sure, guys, is look, there's some part of this article here. She makes a couple of good points, right? She does. So I'm not here to slate her completely. But don't be taking advice from some woman that has never been on a dating app. Like, she's never been on a dating app, guys. Like, you'd say something if she was on it maybe 6-7 years ago. But even still, that wouldn't be a very reliable source, because a lot changes 6-7 years later. Anyway, I just want to make sure, guys, that you're not led astray here. And you know what? This applies for friendships too, a lot of this stuff, and relationships and business and... Oh, God. I mean, where is the world going with this? Like, before we get into this article, where did they get someone to write this article that has never even done a dating app? Are they running out of people? Are they running out of employees, journalists? Are they firing people? Are they just trying to just fuck with people? Fuck with us? Very strange. So guys, the heading is... You're gonna love this. Coffee and Quirkiness. 10 ways to be more confident on dating apps. And the subheading. Be specific, don't overthink it, and embrace the pre-date. Online dating is daunting, but it can also be fun. Well, you wouldn't know about that, would you? Anyway. So, okay, let's have a look at it, guys. So she starts by saying, there was a study by I won't say the college name, and it's a college. A study by a university found that dating app users report higher levels of stress and anxiety than non-users. Okay, well, I'm going to stop her right there. And I'm going to keep going on about it. She's never been on a dating app. I'm going to keep saying that, by the way. Yeah, that really bothers me, guys. Honestly, it really bothers me. Like, if you're in war, you're in a foxhole and you're fucking bunking in, or you're digging down in for the night, trying to stay away from the enemy. All of a sudden, a fucking accountant comes over, tries to advise you what to do. Are you going to listen to him, or are you going to listen to a general? Or your captain, or major, or whoever? I mean, this really is like an accountant coming over to a fucking soldier, advising them how to take the hill, advance on the beachhead. Jesus Christ, man. Okay, look, I know I'm getting carried away here, guys. I'm getting carried away. Okay, so... She says at the higher levels of stress and anxiety. Well, I'll give her a little part here. Yes, people are struggling from the anxiety and stuff like that. Now, if you've listened to one of my previous episodes, guys, I talked about this anxiety, etc., in a bit more detail. And what's happening is, it's not giving you stress. It's pushing you over the edge because you have stress already. I mean, that's a really, really big difference, guys. Do you know what I mean? People might say, oh yeah, well, yeah, I get that, Peter, but no. Because the moment you start thinking that the dating apps are your problem, well, then all of a sudden that one thought will creep into 2 or 3 or 4, and all of a sudden 6 months later you're thinking they're like a CIA secret agent spying on you. Okay? I mean, it's not. If you're an anxious person, if you go onto a dating app, you're gonna feel anxious if you don't get the result you're looking for. Now, let's say there's no such thing as dating apps. If you're an anxious person, you're reading a newspaper with dating columns in it, you'd get anxious about that too because it didn't work out. So what's my point? My point is, it's not giving you anxiety, it's releasing and pushing your anxiety over the edge. So please don't listen to that, guys. Now, they said they've done a survey of... Excuse me, I'm just drinking my cup of tea here now as well, guys. So they're saying that they did a survey of 1,000 Tinder users. I'm just reading off this off my phone. And they found that they've significantly higher levels of appearance comparison and body shame than people who don't use apps. This seems to be equally true for men and women. The study concluded for self-esteem, male Tinder users scored significantly lower than either male or female non-users. Okay, I'm just going to go back up there, right? Now, okay, like I said, I'm not here to slate her completely. I think she actually does have a point here when she says Tinder users have significantly higher levels of appearance comparison and body shame than people who don't use the apps. Now, I can actually speak on a personal level on this one. It was about a month ago, guys. Now, as many of you know, I'm single, and I matched with this girl on Tinder, and she looked stunning, gorgeous. She was a Brazilian girl. She was literally, she was on a beach with her, her swimwear and all that, not naked or anything like that, right? And she was well dressed. She had is it a shawl where women kind of like they almost use like that sort of scarf thing, like a dress almost on a beach. Anyway, girls, if you're listening, forgive me, I don't know the name. So she looked really nice, and all of a sudden she ghosted me on Tinder. Okay, completely ghosted. She was all up for the fun, on the crack, the banter on the dating app, and all of a sudden, gone. I was like, oh, Jesus Christ. Now, she didn't unmatch me, but all of a sudden she's just gone. Right? I was looking through the messages myself, I have to say, just to make sure, Jesus Christ, did I say something wrong here? And I went, no, because she responded back to me, etc. And then I see her in town. Okay, she's in the same city that I live in. So I'm standing on the street with a friend of mine, just having a quick chat. She walks past. Now, I was stunned, guys, I have to say. Now, this girl put on a lot of weight. Right now, when I say I'm stunned, I've nothing against people who have weight on them, guys, okay? Please remember that when I'm saying this. I was stunned because I realized right there and then, I went, oh my God. This probably explains why she didn't meet up. I mean, guys, like, if you saw the difference in her versus what she's looking like now, I mean, huge difference. Now, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there was an ex-boyfriend that came back into her life, or some guy she was dating, and that's why she didn't want to talk to me again. Of course. But for some reason, it hit me. So, guys, as you know, I'm not delusional here, okay? Right? I'm not saying, oh yeah, that's why she didn't be with me because of that. So I could be wrong. Let's just put that on the table. But it just did hit me. I went, Jesus, does this happen quite a lot with a lot of, so not just her, there's other women. So I even asked family, I asked friends, like girls I know. And I'm sure girls, if you're out there, Most of you know the story on this one. Like, these girls were telling me that, Jesus, Peter, this happens all the time. A lot of us women are insecure about our bodies. Now, I always had a feeling that women were insecure because, hey, I've got 2 sisters and a mother, right? And their bodies are fine, totally fine. I'm just saying that because I was growing up with my 2 sisters and my mother, that, you know, you're hearing women talk and you know yourself. So I just didn't realize, wow, this really could be it. Now, then I was asking other women and they went, Peter, I've cancelled a lot of dates because I just can't handle it. I've put on too much weight. They feel that they're too skinny, even though that's not a problem you hear every time, do you? Jesus Christ. But it just made me think, guys. Now, like I said, this girl just might not have been interested at all. It was a bit of boredom. But it would make you think. It would make you think. Does this happen a lot on dating apps? Why women ghost or even men ghost? Do you know what I mean? It's interesting to think about. Now, there's no reason to ghost people, guys, okay? So, like, look, I've been ghosted before. Hey, fuck, I've ghosted people back in the day. You know what? And I still have done it once or twice every now and then. But I actually only text them when I was drunk, to be honest with you. So, like, I forgot that I text them. But it's still, there's no excuse for ghosting. We've all done it, I think, let's be honest. I've done it. Most people have done it on dating apps. And then we bitch and moan that there's no one out there. Now, I ain't here to bitch about that anyway. But anyway, let's move on. So, I do agree with this woman here that some women have, what, as she says, appearance comparison and body shame than people who don't use apps. So I suppose, guys, the answer to this, right, is, look, if you have put on an extra couple of pounds, or if you're a guy and you've lost a bit of your muscle, you know, and you're a little bit skinnier now, or whatever it is, just start with fresher photos. At least you know where you're starting from. Why go? Why give somebody a foolish, a make-believe scenario of you if you've changed this much? Why do it? At least you can relax, right? And at least you don't go wasting your time, because even if you have deceived the person, what if you are under stress before the actual date? Because it's going to be in your head. You're going to be stressed about the date. I just don't see where it's going to lead. Okay, so now that we've gone through that, so they say here, among the US dating population, 32% are on apps. Well, I would say it's a lot more than 32%. I mean, I'm gonna say, like, I would think before coronavirus, it was probably, let's say 50%. And I think I'm generous on that one. I would say 70%. Doesn't mean everybody's using it every single day, because people get fed up with the apps, but they'd still have it on their phone, right? And then they might check in again in a week or two, or if, God forbid, if they get a notification, you have a match, whoa, then they might jump into it again. But I would say it's about 70%, and especially what I'm seeing, guys, on my dating, on my social media, excuse me, I would say about 70% of singles have it. And I'd actually probably go a little bit more. I really would. But we'll keep it, we'll play it safe. We'll say 70%. Okay. So, and then she says, side note, so halfway through the column, her side note is, I'm personally not a part of this revolution in case my husband, who I met before apps were invented, is reading this. So I love that, like, she's not doing it to just be upfront and honest with you. She's doing it in case her husband reads this. This woman is like, what's wrong with this woman? Where did they get her? She's not even trying to look out for you here. She's only coming clean because in case her husband reads it. She hasn't thought about she hasn't thought about anybody once here yet. Jesus. But she's fascinated by this psychological battleground as a place where people face some of their biggest confidence challenges, or where many give up before they've even got started. Oh, let's just keep going. I'm not done with this one yet, believe me. So she's got some bullet points. Oh, lads, I can't wait to see these bullet points. This dribble she's reading. Oh my god. Okay. So, number 1. Fear not the icebreaker. The words in your profile are just to create a connection. Really? That is all. A relationship and dating coach. Oh, this is by her, yeah. Okay. The key is to celebrate your strengths and embrace your unique qualities and quirks without fear of judgment or trying to please everyone. Take any pressure off yourself to write the perfect profile and see it as the icebreaker that creates the initial connection between you and potential dates. Okay, well, look, I'll give her one little part here, so let's just go through it again. Celebrate your strengths. Well, I wouldn't go that far now because we've got plenty of TikToker and Instagrammers who twerk, duckface, fucking men who are topless showing off their fucking biceps, right? And they think they're their strengths. Okay, too many fucking narcissist egos, shitheads out there that would say, these are my strengths. Okay, so I wouldn't be saying that either, guys. About yourself. Good things. Humble strengths. This is a very loose term, what she's saying here. Too many fucking egos on TikTok and Instagram, and then they jump onto Tinder and they use the same fucking photos. So be humble with your strengths, guys. Okay? Please. So, number 2, be specific. She says, we may be tempted to keep certain things hidden on our dating profile to appear cool and protect ourselves. But playing it cool blocks the connection we seek. So if you have an unusual hobby or guilty pleasure, own that and talk about it in your profile. If you love cooking, include your favorite dish. If you love music, mention the last gig you went to. Yeah, alright, I'll give her that. Yeah. Now guys, let's just make sure here, right? Okay. Be specific. Yes, be specific, but you don't want to be giving a life story either. Now, I know from a man's point of view, a girl who's got too much written in her bio, he ain't reading it. He's not. He's checking out your tits, your ass, your face. Okay? That's what we're doing. Including me. Right? Now, I, on the other hand, and then there'd be other guys too, not just me. I'm not fucking Mr. King here, not at all. I'm not trying to portray that. I will definitely have a look at a bio. Now, believe me, guys, if I see a bio that's too long, I'm like, ugh, whatever. Okay? I couldn't give a fuck. Because at the end of the day, you can't judge what someone's really like from a Tinder profile photo. You know, you can't. You can get an idea of somebody, right? But if they're going on and on and on, I'm switching off. Now, I will read the bio. Again, now, girls, this is coming from a man's point of view. I will read a bio because I'll use it as an icebreaker myself, like this lady's saying. So in other words, if she does love cooking, right? Again, like she said, I might say, oh, and if we match, I'll go, oh, so hey, how's it going? Or whatever. What's your favorite dish? See, you love cooking. What's your favorite dish? I love cooking myself. Something like that, right? So I'll use the information in there to start the conversation. But you have to remember too, people on bios can be full of shit. So I wouldn't be taking it like Bible here when somebody tells you something on a Tinder profile. Okay? And ladies, please, I can tell you this. Don't write too much. Now, when I say too much, I would say you talk about 1 or 2 of your hobbies, yes. Keep it to about 5 sentences. If that helps you at all. To about 5 sentences max. Because believe me, us dudes are switching off after that. It's the harsh truth, but that's the way we are. Okay, number 3. Plan in advance to guard the time you devoted to online. Oh yeah, okay, well I've read this one and this is quite good. I'll give her this one. Lots of online daters experience dating fatigue. So that's what she says. Well, how would you know? To cope with this As a newbie or veteran, go slowly. Set the boundaries for when you decide to swipe at 20-minute blocks up to 3 times a day. Yeah, sure, that is a good one. I'll give her that. Yep. And hey guys, you know what? Fuck it, even put a daily reminder in. Maybe I know that sounds weird, you're putting a reminder in to check your Tinder, but at least then you know when that goes off. Oh, okay, this is my time. Now I do it. Because I do agree with her there that fatigue kicks in. People get sick of these dating apps. I mean, Jesus Christ, guys, I've been sick of the dating apps. I've had buddies who are fed up with the dating apps. But the problem is that what really is making us fed up is that we're looking at it too much. It's not the amount of matches, we're looking at it and staring at the fucking thing too much. That's what really gets you into the exhaustion bracket. Now, okay, number 4, police the time you spend on the apps. This is part 2. Okay. Set your expectations. People don't use the apps like messaging apps anymore. They're busy living their lives. Well, if they're not on Tinder, they're on fucking TikTok or Instagram or social media or Facebook. Go on once a week or a couple of times a week. Don't make it your primary messaging app. Always remember that you are basically talking to people you don't know. She's talking shit in this one, really. But I mean, she's right that you are talking to people you don't know. Like I was saying about, you can't believe everything on a dating app. You just can't. Okay, number 5. Share your intentions up front. Now, actually, this is one I really want to get into and talk about this in more detail. She says, when I help clients, I encourage... What? Hang on a second. You've got clients? You've got clients? Of what? You're writing an article for a newspaper. And you don't even have a dating profile ever, and you're giving advice on dating profiles. How can you possibly tell us? See, I'm going again, guys. Jesus, okay. When I help clients, I encourage them to share that they're looking for a committed relationship in their profile. This can help filter out people who don't share your intention, saving you time and energy on incompatible partners. Okay, so I encourage them to share that they're looking for a committed relationship. Okay, so what I want to get into here, guys, and yes, I agree with her on this. You should put up what you're looking for. Okay? You should. Now, here's the thing. Myself, at the moment for me, I'm not looking for any relationship. Okay? I'm not. Now, am I writing that up on my profile? I'm not. You know why? Because there's some girls out there that actually would like a casual hookup, but they don't want to make the guy think they're looking for a casual hookup. Right? Now, that's one reason. Number 2 reason, and this is the most important. When I do get a match and I start talking, I would say 80% of the time, actually bring it up in conversation that, oh, by the way, before we meet, I just want you to know I'm not looking for anything serious. If I meet somebody and we click, great, but my default, so to speak, is I'm not looking for anything. So I'm always fair before I even get talking to the person on the dating app. I'm just not going to put it on my bio. Now, I do agree, if you are looking for a relationship, you should definitely mention that in there. Okay? Now, here's the other problem too. Now, I don't do this, guys, okay? Just so you know, I do not do this, but I do know some guys that do this. Some guys might be on a dating app and they might be looking for just a hookup. And then they stumble upon a lady that's looking for something serious. They match, they start talking, they get what they want, and then they fuck off. And they've led the girl on. Now, hey, let's not forget here, there's some women out there that are no angels either, okay? But we'll just stick on the boys for now. So either way, there can be pros and cons to putting something up. I would suggest the real time you address this scenario is when you're talking to the person. Now, like, get the conversation started. You know, hey, how's it going? Or, you know, oh yeah, I see in your photo you were in Portugal. How is Portugal? Oh, great. Have you ever been there yourself? I haven't, but it's on my bucket list. Blah, 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 blah. Hey, we can go there when we get married. Ha, 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 ha. Right? Have a bit of banter. Grand. Then get into, hey, by the way, listen, I want to make sure, are you looking for anything serious, or what are you looking for? And that's cool. Like, I've been on dating apps, girls and guys. Women have asked me after the first few days. Okay? Now, I'm usually jumping on the first day. Now, again, depending on how quick the person texts you back, right? If you're talking the very first day, well then, that's cool. That's cool. Now, there's been some times either when I haven't even bothered mentioning it, because just depending on the conversation, etc., etc. So, in fact, actually, I'm even talking to one girl right now. I met her last Sunday, and I'm going for a date tomorrow night, but haven't mentioned to her yet. Now I've been fucking flat out. But you know what? What I'm going to do? I'm going to go for the date, and I'm going to tell her on the date. So depends on how you feel, guys. I would suggest you do it before you get talking. Or during your talk on a match. Or tell them just before the date. Or go on the date and tell them on the first date. You know? It'd be nice to get out for a date, right? Now, they haven't asked you either, so I wouldn't be stressing about it too much. Like, go and enjoy the fucking date. You know? If you don't want to bring it up on the first date, don't. Maybe you haven't been out for a date in fucking 2 years. Get out on the date. Okay? Now, there's one thing here now. If you're promising somebody that you're looking for a serious relationship, but you don't, well then you're just a fucking asshole. You know what I mean? So, okay, let's move on, guys. Number 6, say why you're there. Dating app queen puts this more bluntly. It's good to have a place where people are often about the fact that they're looking to date. That's why apps are not a waste of time, but this doesn't mean the same to everyone. Ask why someone is there. Are they looking for a relationship or not? Okay, well, we've actually gone through into this. Yeah. Right, we'll shoot past this one. Number 7, don't be afraid to be boring in interactions. This is interesting. I haven't read this part now. You don't need to overshare or tell your entire life story in a series of never-ending messages. Anxiety can make us hide our vulnerability or get overprotective. Just as bad, we all let our defenses down too quickly and discuss whether we want children and how many before we even talked our favorite TV show. What the hell is she talking about? Okay. It's been very, very rare when I've had a girl give me her life story on a dating app. Extremely rare. And people asking about children, women certainly don't do that. If you want to scare a guy off deliberately, you might bring that up. But she's completely fucking wrong. As in, hey, don't be worried, honey. People aren't doing that out there. You see, this is the difference, guys. I'm on dating apps right now. This woman isn't. She doesn't have a fucking... She has an idea of the back element of this, but in general, she doesn't have a fucking clue. Jesus. Okay. Alright, there's a couple of more bullet points here. Let me see. Number 9. Remember, this is a vulnerable process. No, boring. Okay. So, in closing here for this one, guys. Let's see. Number 10. Keep it mindful and manageable. The whole thing is a huge amount of admin. Treat it as a side project that you dip in and dip out of. Okay, I'll give her that. I used to be on there all the time and have multiple dates a week. This is not the woman, by the way. This journalist is quoting what someone else said. Okay, so just to clarify, the journalist has never been on the dating app, and she chats to about 2 people at a time. Right, and she's going on how many messages that is. Blah blah blah. Okay, so guys, look. In closing here today, yeah, I'm actually. I've tried to get through enough of this, guys. It's putting me to sleep. This fucking article. It's like pulling teeth listening to this woman. In closing, guys, the reason for today. Couple of things. I do agree with her on that one. You should set some time limits on it in a day. And it's amazing, once you get into your routine of your 20 minutes a day, 3 times a day, or whatever the hell it is, it's amazing how fast you'll get into that, and you'll keep a fresher mind. I think we've all been there now where, we're on our mobile phone and you're like a vegetable at the end of the day, and you're fit for no one. We're like zombies going around the place. Do you know? So I think that's a good idea. The anxiety, guys, remember that. The dating apps aren't causing your anxiety. Okay? You have anxiety already. It's just pushing you over the edge. It's just triggering your anxiety. All right? If there was no such thing as phones or dating apps, there'd be a newspaper, and you'd be anxious about that. Who's in it today? Okay, what if I send them a letter? I mean, hey, Jesus, you never know. Sending them a letter and you never get a response. You'd be anxious about that, right? Ignore that bollocks. I would not put in any more than 5 sentences in your bio, ladies, especially for guys who are looking at your bio. Okay, chances are we're not looking at your bio. We're checking out your photos. Okay, we're looking at your face, ass, tits. Right, that's it. Now, we might look at the bio, some of us, yeah. This is not every man. And some guys will have a quick look, yeah. Now, again, if it's a life story, we ain't reading the fucking thing. Okay, we're just not. This is straight from the horse's mouth here. I know what guys are thinking. I can't speak for every guy, but I have a very good idea on this. So keep it to 5 sentences max, ladies. Alright? 5 sentences max. And just relax. And I said this in a previous episode. Now, if you're watching me on YouTube, I'm got my hands praying to you. Just remember this. We didn't have these 10 years ago. It's a free app. You're sitting on your couch. Do you realize how fucking lucky we are to have this? And you know something? If it takes a month or 2 months to get a match while you're sitting on your couch, while you're doing nothing, and it's a free app, isn't that okay? We gotta have a bit of gratitude for what we have too, guys. We really do. And I will finish in just saying this last thing. A lot of you may or may not know, I have some dating groups on Facebook. Now, guys, I created these 5 Facebook groups to help you, not to make money. I don't get a penny from this. I would just love that you guys meet somebody. There's been over 30 success stories up to now already, and I haven't even checked in with people. I'm not asking people, hey, how are you getting on? No, I'm just leaving people be. But people have just contacted me, which is great to hear. Now, they're based on age group. You can go into any one of them and go to, on Facebook, a group called Old School Dating Age 20 to 28, Old School Dating Age 28 to 35, Old School Dating Age 35 to 45, Old School Dating Age 45 to 55, and Old School Dating Age 55 plus. Now, they're free groups, they're private groups. You do need a profile photo to be in them. The advantage of this is the number one thing. If you post in the group, you go to the top of the page. And your family and friends don't see it because it's a private group. So, why does that matter? Guys, this matters because on Tinders, Bumbles, the algorithm is working against you right now. So if you boost, in other words pay money, they'll put you up to the top, or well, close to the top as they say, and you might then get some matches. Whereas on Facebook, there's no algorithm working against you. You simply have a position where you post up a video or a photo introduction of yourself, you go straight to the top of the pile. Alright, so best of luck with it if you do jump on, and I will speak to you again, guys, and please take no notice of what this lady said. She's got a couple of managing your headspace very, very well. But remember this. She's never been on a dating app. An army soldier is not going to take orders from a fucking accountant. Thanks for listening, guys. See you later.